everyone, I'm Michelle. I just wanted to say thank you again for 10,000 subscribers, and I'm happy to interact with you all in my 10K Q&A. Reading off your questions to me is a very special guest who you might be familiar with, the Croupier. The Croupier is a fictional character I created, as well as my channel mascot who only exists in the fourth wall casino, but attempts to steal people's existence so that she can become more real. But she's such a mischief, I nicknamed her Giggles too. We're both Giggles.
Yes, how lucky for you. I suppose I shall give you a hand.
Aw, thank you, you adorable character, you. All right, without further ado, Croupier Giggles, read off their questions. And I suppose you can answer some of them too.
I think I deserve my own question and answer.
Well, when they want to ask you questions, we'll make another video just for you. How does that sound?
Fair, I suppose.
Onward!
Ebutsy asks, can I ask how difficult it is to start off as a creepypasta narrator, and what equipment is a must?
I guess it was a little difficult because I have been doing this since I was about 16 years old, so that's like 10 years, and I'm just now getting 10,000 subscribers. But to be fair, I wasn't very consistent every day like I am now. I have a very consistent schedule. I upload on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So I think if I had been consistent from the very beginning, I would have had a bigger audience by now. But honestly, that's okay. So yeah, I'd say it's difficult if you don't have the motivation or a plan, and if you're just kind of like trying it, I mean, it's fine to try it, but you definitely want to have a plan in mind and think of when you would upload and what kind of content you would do and what kind of content you would want to add. And as for equipment, I would say definitely a microphone. It doesn't matter if it's like the best quality in the beginning, but like, slowly over time, if you start to really get the hang of it, you could probably upgrade from your cheaper microphone to a better quality microphone to a more professional microphone.
Anthony Rodriguez asks, what was it that inspired you to get into the performing arts? Was there a performance, song, or person that made you think, I want to do that?
There was actually, because so I was not ever really into musical theater until the year that I started creepypasta narrating, actually. My friend had gotten these 2 free tickets in like a raffle or a lottery or something like that for the show Wicked at the Pantages Theater in Hollywood. And she asked me, of all people, to go with her to go see Wicked. So when we went to go see Wicked, I was completely enchanted by Galinda. I loved her. I loved the character. I loved the music. I loved her vocal register. I'm a soprano, so I like resonated with her immediately. She was very, very girly. I loved her costume design. I just loved the character. And I think it was sitting in that seat in the Pantages Theater watching that show with that actress. I thought to myself, I have to be part of that world one day.
Half Mile asks, favorite all-time movie and why?
Oh man, I don't know if I have just one all-time favorite movie. It kind of fluctuates here and there. I think for a while, my favorite movie was the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy. And then at some point was Barbie, Princess and the Pauper. And then at another point, it was Jumanji, Birdcage, Clue. Yeah, I like movies that either make me feel like I could be a hero
Really?
or a princess.
As a Writer asks, what gave you the inspiration for the name Little Ball of Giggles?
That actually came from a nickname that somebody gave me in elementary school one time. So my friend called me a little ball of giggles, hugs, and sunshine. And I thought that that was kind of cute, so I just never forgot about it. And around the time I was making my channel, I was also developing my character here, Giggles, or the Croupier. And so whatever I was going to name her, I was also going to name the channel, and that would incidentally become my own nickname. I was very aware of everything. So I was thinking, oh, should I name her Lucky? No, that's too on the nose. Aces? No, that's even more on the nose. Let's go for something not card themed. Let's go for something mischievous and mysterious. How about, oh, you know what? How about Giggles from Little Ball of Giggles? And I would just drop the hugs and sunshine part. So yeah,
Wow.
that's where that came from.
You were planning to name me?
Yeah. Whatever I was gonna name you, I was gonna name the channel.
Hmm.
All right, read off the next question.
The same person also asks, are you a Redditor? And if so, what is your username?
So I don't really use Reddit a whole bunch. I just go on there to get creepypasta. So I go on there like sparingly. And my username on there is the same as this channel, LittleBallOfGiggles.
Their next question is, what is a typical day like for Michelle?
A typical day for me is like I get up pretty late-ish, like 10 a.m. maybe.
Okay,
And then I like fool around on the internet for a little bit, watch funny videos, or I do some audio editing. So I'll typically edit sometimes in the day. And then depending on whether or not I have work, I go to work and come home, eat dinner, etc. But on the days when I don't have work, I hang out. I try to write. I try to record. I try to voice act. I try to draw. I am constantly trying to figure out how to produce my own scripts and stories and get the nerve to like do it. I'm trying to do that a little bit more often lately. I also scrapbook a lot and I love food. And then I also like to spend some time with God, if not like every day reading a chapter of the book that I'm currently on. I like to at least read the verse of the day and try to meditate on it a little bit. And then I'm always also kind of constantly talking to God and just praying to Him in my head, just telling Him about what I'm feeling or what I want to get done for the day or, what I hope for the future or people I want to pray for, etc.,
lovely.
etc.
Their next question is, how often do you chat with Mr. Creepypasta and Autumn Ivy? Could you tell them I miss the burnt photo series?
I talk to Spike pretty often. Like, we text maybe like, in this season, maybe every other day or so, like, there's times where, like, we don't really, like, talk with each other for, like, a few weeks or something, but, like, sometimes he'll talk to me or, like, he'll send me an Instagram thing and I'll, like, do the same back to him. He's kind of like a big brother to me, so we just have that kind of, like, sibling relationship, which I think is really cool. As for Autumn, maybe like once a month. I don't really talk with Autumn as frequently, but every now and then I'll think about her and her partner, and I will like message them and be like, hey, I miss you guys. I'm thinking about you. And they'll be like, oh, we're thinking about you too, sweetie. And so every now and then, and then, like Autumn is also another voice actor. So whenever I am looking at an audition and it wants like a more mature, womanly sounding voice, I always think of two people, Stephanie Swanquills and Autumn Ivy. So typically, like, I'll be like, "Oh, hey, go audition for this thing," and Autumn will be
Ugh.
like, "Thank you," and yeah. Um, when I remember, I will tell them that you miss the burnt photo series.
Their next question is, do you want to build a snowman? She lives in Los Angeles. There is no snow.
Yes, there's no snow. I'd like to tell you yes, but we don't have any snow here.
Yeah, there's no snow. Their next question is, New Year's resolution?
I did not make one.
Riveting. Their next question is, what is your favorite creepypasta series?
Oh man, I remember really being into Pen Pal and Finding Vanessa. Those are probably my two favorite ones.
Their last question, I am a paranormal investigator. What was that?
It was Giggles.
Me?
Yeah, it was you.
Oh no.
It was you. It was the sound of her cards shuffling.
Yes, anyway. Krisholvo VA asks, if you were approached by someone who was going to cast you as the lead in a TV show, but they required you to delete your YouTube channel, would you accept the role?
Oh, I mean,
Oh my.
getting cast in TV is like probably the best thing an actor can get cast in because that's a lot of money. I'd probably say no. I'd think about the money, but there's just so many other elements that go into it that may work against that for me. Like, is this gonna be a good TV show? Is it gonna flop? Will I have regretted giving my YouTube channel for no reason? And then at the same time, to me, my channel's priceless because it's me, it's what I did. In a way, it is my legacy and will kind of document my storytelling and stuff. So no, I would not.
Good to hear.
Yeah, I know because this is kind of also the only place that Giggles can really like have a voice on. So, yeah, yeah.
Yes, I would be out of luck. Bill and Braden asks, how do you come up with the voices for all of your characters?
Ooh, very fitting. You know that I do your voice, right, Giggles?
Yes, I'm very aware. I'm very aware that I am fictional.
Yeah, good job. Ooh, she hates me. Okay. So the way that I come up for with the voices for all my characters is it kind of just depends on what I have been given in the very beginning of a story. If we're talking about like creepypasta specifically, it's just all in the first like couple of sentences. I just get enough context as I can in the beginning and then I commit to it.
What is your favorite series you are currently doing?
I mean, at the time I'm recording this, I have just finished a series. You all might have been listening to it. It was called I'm an Actress on the Set of a Low Budget Slasher Film, and I think they're really killing off my co stars. That was probably my favorite one, just because I could relate a lot as an actress who lives in Los Angeles.
Mikey Bishop asks, what should I eat? What is your favorite restaurant? And what do you recommend getting from there?
Oh man, Mikey, I got the best place for you. You want to go to a Red Robin's,
Oh,
get a hamburger or a chicken sandwich, and get bottomless steak fries with lots of their seasoning. Oh, that's the good stuff. And then you want to just drink a whole bunch of Coke. It's not very healthy, but oh man, do I love me some Red Robin's French fries.
MJH asks, is it true that you are actually a little ball of giggles?
Yeah.
Alan Stapp asks, what does God sound like to you?
Interesting question. I think of like a sort of baritone voice with lots of reverb. There's no like malevolent inflections on it. It's all very calm and warm and loving.
Vengeance asks, do you play video games? Do you plan on playing video games in the future?
I play video games. I don't think I would plan to really like play them on my channel or like do the Twitch thing. But I mean, like in my free time, I like to play video games with my cousins. I particularly love survival games. I like playing Don't Starve Together and Project Zomboid. I used to like playing Ark Survival Evolved, but it just took up so much time. I had to kind of drop it. And I go on seasons like that where I'll play it and then I'll be like, it's taking up too much time. And then I'll be like, oh no, but I miss having dinos and I'll go and I'll play that. I also am an avid Pokemon master
What?
and I also love playing detective on Among Us. I love that game so much. We should play that in my Discord server sometimes, you guys. So if you want to play Among Us with me, join my Discord server. Link is in the description. That'll be a great time. Woo!
Crishelvo Umbrea asks, what is your dream video game role as a VA? Type of character, type of game, game company, etc.
Oh, you know what? I would love to be like the princess in Hope, the Other Side of Adventure with that big, meaningful monologue, very realistic acting. I would love to do that. And then also like interesting games like The Path.
Huh?
I know they don't have any voice acting in it, but I'm all about like fairy tale stuff. So if it was like a dark fantasy, I would love to voice in video games like that.
Jason Voorhees asks, what are your plans for the channel onwards?
Pretty much to just keep narrating creepypasta, and I have a lot of comedy scripts written out. I know I've been saying this for a while, I just can't seem to find the right lighting or temperature to really do this. I want to make character-inspired outfits and lookbooks because I was really into that, and I think I have, some good ideas that people might really like. And I'd also like to produce more of my original stories. Like you all saw the abalone. That was kind of the first one
Mm,
that kind of starts off everything.
mm.
So I want to do more of those.
The Odd Lemon asks, you get to fight the main character of the last TV show you watched. Who is it and how screwed are you?
Oh, I am very screwed. The last show I watched was The Witcher. So I'd have to fight Geralt of Rivia and he would totally snap my neck in 2 seconds.
Yes,
But I mean, like,
moving
he's
on.
pretty handsome, which means that he'd be like the last thing that I ever saw. So, I mean, who's really screwed?
Wow. Moving on. Jarek Lombardi asks, I'm curious what your favorite Bible verse or book is and why.
I really like Judges, Philippians, Proverbs. There's like I could name a few more, but those are the ones that kind of jump out to me right now.
Neon asks, what is your favorite flavor or flavors of ice cream?
My favorite flavor of ice cream is mint and chip. And also lately, this is more secondary, but I've also been getting into matcha ice cream.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Jerry the cartoonist asks, so you're a teacher who occasionally likes to tell her students creepy stories. That's pretty awesome. But have you ever asked your students to tell you a creepy story? If so, what's the creepiest story you've heard thus far?
Just to clarify something, I'm not a teacher. I'm actually a playground aide, and then I
Right.
also work in watching the kids after school. But in terms of creepy stories, okay, this isn't really a creepy, like, story that they made up or have heard from somebody, but it scared me so bad. So, a couple of the girls that love hearing stories from me, they go in this little area, there's, like, a shed on the playground where they just hang out nearby, and we always tell them, "Hey, you gotta be where we can see you, so, don't be back there." They one time were, not listening, and they were back there, and I don't know if this was true or not, which is which is why it's so scary to me. There's, like, I think 3 or 4 of them, and one of them had allegedly broken in through the window into that little shed and said, "Oh, I saw car parts and an oven. Oh, and there is a colorful piece of candy on the ground in a wrapper." And I ate it. So I was like, we don't know if that was like a Tide Pod or something." And I was telling the girls, I was like, "Are you guys telling me the truth right now?" And they were like, "Yeah." And so this might not have been super great of me, but I wanted them to understand that, they just can't go around picking up stuff off of the ground and eating it, believing it to be candy. Cause like, God forbid, what if it, like tons of things come in colorful wrappers. Like, what if it was like something that could poison them? So I told them, "Guys, it could have been something poisonous, something that could like instantly kill you. So I need you to tell me the truth. Did she or did she not eat that thing? Did she actually break into the little shed?" And they were like, "No, she didn't actually break into the shed. No, no, she didn't actually find that candy looking thing." So like half of them say yes, she did and she ate it, and the other half say no, she didn't and she did not eat it. So to this day, I have no idea what the truth is. But I mean, that was like months ago, and the girl in question who did it is like still alive and is walking and is doing well. So I'm just going to assume for the moment that that was all just an exaggerated story. But yeah, that was probably the scariest thing they had ever told me.
You should not be in charge of small
Hey,
children.
okay, just read the next question, okay?
Fine. Have you ever seen Arcane? If not, I highly suggest it. Have you ever watched something that was so perfect in your opinion that it completely changed the game for you as far as how you tell stories?
I haven't seen Arcane. I'm not really into League of Legends, but the animation style looks really interesting. So maybe I'll check it out once I'm done with The Witcher.
Good for you.
In terms of watching something that's so perfect that it influenced the way that I tell stories, definitely there's this like little cartoon. It's like kind of where my love for fairy tales started. I think it's technically an anime. It's called Grimm's Fairy Tale Classics, and my Filipino grandmother had bought them on VHS
Charming.
just for us, her grandkids, whenever we came over. And I love them. Sometimes I still watch them just because I just regard them so fondly. And there was always a narrator in there who kind of would chime in and would tell part of the story. So that definitely influenced how I tell the story. Definitely when I'm reciting them to kids, I'll find myself saying the same sentence or the same like phrase of words that that narrator used. So that one definitely did it. Also, Over the Garden Wall and Netflix's TV series of A Series of Unfortunate Events.
Yes.
I thought that those two things were so perfectly done in terms of storytelling, and I think that they're two of the most important series that will ever be in my lifetime.
His next question is, as you might remember from my questions in the other Q&A videos, I'm really into the idea of multiverse slash alternate realities. That being said, you have to be one of the nicest people I've seen on YouTube. So my question to you is, have you ever played with the idea of there being a not so nice Giggles, a nega Giggles, if you will, somewhere in the multiverse? If so, what do you imagine her being like? Well, this question is ironic.
Yeah, it is. Isn't that funny?
No.
You could kind of say that my character here, Giggles, is like the opposite of me. I I don't think she likes me very much.
It's true, I don't.
See, I probably shouldn't be saying this in front of her. I don't think she likes me a whole bunch because I have written her to be stuck in her casino, and maybe she doesn't like that because she wants to be real so bad.
True.
Yeah, so you could kind of say that she's sort of the fictional. I don't want to call you evil. You're not evil.
Why do you say so?
Well, because okay, you're not evil. You're not like out to like kill people. You just want to be real. You just want to be understood. You want to feel what we feel.
No comment.
So, well, okay, she'd be like a sort of opposite of me, but like not quite evil. Ironically, though, I actually did bring this up with Spike like years ago. And I think I asked him this, and we were talking about like the opposites of ourselves in a way. And so I was telling him that I think if I wasn't me, if my body was given a completely different personality, I feel like she'd be like that really cool but really mean girl in high school who's like a total bully or who like dresses like really. I mean, I dress really chicly, but she would dress really chicly and be like a jerk about it. That's what I feel like me in another universe would be like.
Next. What are some good sites for looking up voice acting roles, and which do you most like to use?
I really like castingcall.club. I feel like the upload process is very simple, but sometimes it can go through some dry seasons, and a lot of my peers don't seem to like it very much. I also go on Twitter a lot. If you follow enough of the right people, they usually retweet a bunch of casting calls, and there's actually an account just for that. It's called at VA Casting RT. So they are made aware of different casting calls, and then they retweet it, and then you're able to see it. And then also there is a Discord server for Voice Acting Club, which is also another great website. I also check out the website a lot, but if you go on the Voice Acting Club, there's like tons of people in there, and there are like tabs for paid and unpaid voice acting auditions, and they will like post in all of those like all the time. So I get a lot of stuff from there sometimes.
Their next question is Happy New Year. How have you spent yours?
I spent the week of New Year's at my cousin's house, which was really, really nice. It was a very much needed mini vacation. The night of New Year's, we made pasta. Me, my cousin, and her fiance played a whole bunch of Don't Starve together, like for hours. It was great. And then we got like a couple of glasses of wine, and that was like really nice. It was just a pretty lax New Year's. Pasta, video games, and wine.
Wonderful. And now for the final question of the evening.
Yes?
Would you like to hear a joke?
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for asking me all of your questions. I absolutely love them. Thank you again so much to my fictional character, Giggles.
Don't rub it in.
Thank you so much for being the best character ever.
All right. Thank you for having me and making everyone else aware of my existence. Don't forget to stop by the Fourth Wall Casino if you're ever feeling like you want to be part of my world.
Okay, thank you, Giggles. Not my viewers, please. Thank you. Thank you guys again so much for 10,000 subscribers, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.
I may see you in the next one as well.
Bye!